Doing today. I am just double checking over here. Live event will begin in 1 minute. Oh, it's 3:59. Okay. Um, so if you click the play button, although if you're not able to see this, then I guess you won't know. I know we're frozen here. Excuse me. Live. You can join me over at the Empire Builders group on Facebook. It's www.facebook.com/groups /Empire Builders Club. I'm just writing it out here. Builders Group. Writing it out there so that you guys can read that. Not sure if that is backwards or not. I'm just going to refresh this page over here. See if we are live. Here does not seem to be working. There we go. Okay, so yes, we are live. Here does not seem to be working. Okay, so we are working. We are working. That is awesome. So my name is Apora, and I'm a growth strategist for ambitious entrepreneurs who want to tackle their overwhelm use in order to create larger corporations out of their solopreneurships. They do, my phone is going off. Let me turn that off because I don't want to be interrupted while we are doing this. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. So I want to talk today about tackling overwhelm. I did talk about it earlier on the Daily Z, but I really want to go into some detail on this and cover some more topics and really delving into the issue of overwhelm in your business and being able to kind of tackle that so that you are not feeling overwhelmed on a daily basis with your business and with your tasks that you need to get done. So some of the things I'm going to be talking about today, and you guys are welcome to answer questions. You can builders group, and I will be taking questions in that group. So you need to go to that group and ask questions there. But the topics that we're going to be handling today are obviously handling overwhelm, but tackling your to-do lists, putting aside your business thoughts in your off time, and this thing that I like to call brain dumping. I'm sure I'm not the first person to call it brain dumping, but it is something that is a common terminology, and basically what it means, and I'm just going to jump right into it and let people come in as they do. You need to be aware that your brain kind of functions like a computer. When you start junking it up with stuff, you're going to find that it doesn't work quite as well. It's like downloading a bunch of stuff onto your computer and saving it onto your hard drive. Eventually that hard drive gets filled up and runs much, much slower. And that's the same thing that happens with your brain. When you don't actually take the time to write things out and write things down in your, that's going on in your mind, your brain is constantly thinking about them. And that's why you're feeling the overwhelm. And that's why you're feeling the distraction when it comes to completing your tasks on a daily basis. So every week, I actually go in on Sunday is my my planning day. And on Sundays, I actually spend an hour and I go in and I literally sit with a blank piece of paper and I write down everything that's on my mind. Errands that I need to run, projects that need to be completed, projects for clients, things that I need to research for clients, commitments that I have during the week, and just everything, things that need to be done around the house, things that are broken and need to be fixed. I mean, whatever it is, I just literally, I get it out of my head and onto paper. I do this now on one full sheet of paper. What I used to do a while ago was I used to I used to write only on one side of pieces of paper all the time. So I would tear them up and I would just make I would have these like stacks of, like stuff that got printed on one side and I didn't need it anymore. So I would tear it up and use it as scrap paper for the back side. So there's a couple different ways that you can go about it. You can do sticky notes if you want to organize them. You can do pieces of paper, excuse me, if you want to do them that way. I just literally write it, dump it on one sheet of paper, and then I kind of go back and organize it. So when you're looking at your brain dump for the week, and I'm actually going to pull mine up from last week so I can kind of have a better idea. I do it in my notebook now. When you kind of do this brain dump, here it is. Okay, so this was from last weekend. And basically I just kind of go through and I said, business projects, personal projects, people that I need to follow up with, things that I wanted to do computer-wise, cleaning up my computer, personal things that I wanted to do, some items like cleaning out my storage unit and filing some papers that I had here in my office that actually get stored over in my storage unit, selling a couple of things, following up with some people on here, some ideas for things that I had, like reaching out to people on LinkedIn and cleaning up my Facebook. And one of my big things on here was finishing my website. So finishing my website is this ginormous project. I have like 10 more pages to create and lots of copy to write and all sorts of other stuff. But when I look at that one giant project and I say, I have to finish my website, I don't have any clear understanding of what that means. I do personally, but really when it comes down to it, for me, it was finish website kind of looks like one task, and that's how your brain perceives it. So when you get it out of your head and onto that paper, one, there's this cathartic reaction that happens in there, in that you're getting it out of your head, you're putting it on paper, and you're not actually holding it in your head anymore. You're getting it out and you're allowing your brain kind of that room to start moving again. So that's the brain dump. The next stage of that is we'll come back to that. So the next stage of that is organizing it. So when you organize it, there are 3 basic ways that I organize it. The first organization basically comes down to do, dismiss, or delegate. So when I'm talking about dismiss, I'm not talking about completely shove it off the plate, never to be thought of again, because it may actually be a good idea. It may be something that I want to take a look at later on, but I don't want to clog my brain up with thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it when I could be thinking about other things that have higher priority than this, you know, creative idea that I came up with for something. So when you are, you know, do, delegate, and dismiss, basically my do list then becomes things that I need to have done in the next week. So it's either, or I'm sorry, things that need to be done in the next week go under the do category. And then from there, I kind of say, I don't necessarily need to be the one that was responsible for that. I can have so-and-so do that instead. So then it gets pushed over into the delegate category. We already covered the dismiss category. So now when you go back to your do category and you have the things in your list that you need to complete in the next however many days, then you need to think about, you know, what happens in those couple of days. Now, what's the highest priority things for me to get done? Do I need to finish my website in the next 3 days? No, probably not. It would be nice to have it done in the next week. So I kind of take that in half now and say, these are the things that need to be done the next 3 days. These are the things that, you know, need to be broken down more. When you are doing these lists, you also want to think about breaking things down. So on Sunday, I wrote, finish my website, but Monday, I actually put on my to-do list, go through my website and break down my tasks. That was actually one of my items on my to-do list for Monday. So that's why I said, we'll come back to this. I actually kind of went through my website, and you can see all of the notes that I have here about all the different things that need to be done on my website, you know, links that aren't working, and pages that still need to be built, and things that I saw that needed to be fixed within that finish the website thing. So now I can actually look at that huge task, which is finish my website, and be able to put 1 or 2 tasks per day on my to-do list and actually feel like I'm accomplishing something towards that goal. So a lot of people, when they're, especially, you know, solo business owners, they're like, oh, I have to get the content done for this program. Instead of saying, I need to get this content down for the programs, and here's the 15 things that I need to do in order to accomplish that, they just kind of stare at that, and then they get into stuck mode because they're not breaking it down and they're not achieving little wins throughout all of that process. So it becomes kind of overwhelming and overbearing, and you tend to push off things that are overwhelming. So breaking things down to the ridiculous is something that really you truly need to, you know, take part in when you're talking about doing your tasks. If one of your tasks is, you know, spring clean the house, you're going to put that off forever until, you know, you actually break it down into, okay, in the kitchen, I need to, you know, in the kitchen, you need to, you know, clean the cupboards, clean the fridge, clean this, clean that, clean the other thing. And then you can kind of break it down and say, okay, well, I can break up my spring cleaning over the course of a whole week or over the course of a whole month, and I'll have, you know, completely cleaned the house at that point. If you say clean the garage and you have, you know, crap stacked up to here, you're going to open that garage door and look at it and go, ugh, I'll do it another day, and another day, and another day, and another day. So as I was saying, breaking things down really helps tackle that overwhelm, because you can achieve small little wins each time you accomplish and check off one of those smaller tasks that moves you closer to that larger goal. So I hope that makes sense. I am, so you guys know, that I have a couple of things going on. March is going to be my kind of spring cleaning month and my productivity month. I'm going to focus wholly on productivity this month. So I have an Instagram series going on. I have 31 days of productivity tips on Instagram. I'm finishing up a planner journal that you'll be able to download and take a look at this live Q&A session today. I'm actually going to do a couple more times this month. So if you missed it today and you want to get in on it later, I am going to do a couple more Q&A sessions like this throughout the month. Also, putting together a couple of 4-video series for you to kind of break these things down to the ridiculous so that you can easily achieve each one of those things in case you're furiously taking notes right now. So back to where we were with the so we've covered now, number 1 is brain dump. Number 2 is categorize, do, delegate, delete, do, delegate, dismiss, delete, dismiss, either one works. And then breaking those down and then breaking your tasks down into smaller things. So I am actually doing this live, and I have just an outline here. So I'm kind of taking notes as we go along so that I can keep up with you and keep reminding you throughout this program that we topics that we cover. Excuse me. So we've got the brain dump, the do, delegate, dismiss, and the break it down. Now, when you start on Monday, now that you've kind of gotten this, you've broken down your tasks, you figured out what you can delegate, you figured out, where you are with your tasks. Hi, welcome. I see we got a viewer. Just so you know, if you want to ask questions, you can head on over to facebook.com/groups/Empire Builders Group. And I will be taking questions live there. I actually have Facebook up on another screen over here so that if you guys have questions, you can go ask in there. That's facebook.com/groups/Empire Builders Group. Go request to be in the group and you can ask questions live. Just to recap, I was saying that in order to tackle your overwhelm, you need to do a brain dump on a weekly basis. You need to split those into 3 categories that you either do, delegate, or dismiss. And from there, you need to break it down to the ridiculous. Now I want to talk about prioritizing your tasks. What needs to be done immediately? What needs to be done, quasi quickly? And then what can kind of, be put off until later. So, when you're prioritizing, this tip actually came from Kaylee Ann. She is the digital nomad. She is we've kind of linked up on Facebook, and this tip came from her. I've heard it before, but to prioritize your tasks, you want to set 1, 2, 3. And I liked her idea a lot. She said, when you're looking at that list, go back through and say, number 1 is things that need to be done in 24 hours. Number 2 is things that need to be done in 48 hours. Number 3 is things that can be done in 72 hours or more. And that's a really great list, a way of listing things out. I usually, I just kind of keep rewriting until I get to the point where I do that. The one thing I do want to mention, though, is when you've started doing your list, and you start looking at the things that you need to do, and this kind of comes in on the daily link or the daily list that you're going to do that I'm going to talk about here in a second. If it can be done in 5 minutes, just do it now, because you will spend more time in the future going back. Like, say you got an email in the morning and you go, I'll answer that later. If it really is only going to take you 5 minutes to answer that email, go ahead and answer it now and get it off your plate. Just cross it off, because if you go back at lunchtime and then you're spending time looking for the email, trying to get back into that mindset of, you know, what it was that the person was asking or wanting of you in the response. You're going to wind up taking more time than it would to just open the email, read it, and respond immediately. So if these tasks are taking you less than 5 minutes, you know, take out the garbage. Don't, unless you're going to delegate that to your kids, don't put it off. Just go ahead and you know, do it now. Simple tasks that can be completed in less than 5 minutes just need to be done and dealt with immediately. So now that you have your beginning of the week list, and that's why I said I like to do them on Sundays, because excuse me, I like have I'm out of drink too. Totally forgot to fill up my cup before I got on. But anyhow, so lost the train of thought there. I was talking about beginning of the week and then beginning of the morning, because you're going to do this 2 times a day. And you're going to set down, you know, a chunk of time earlier in the week to do this on a weekly basis. And whether you choose, you know, to do that Saturday or Sunday on your off day, whatever your off day is, that's fine. But you need to set aside like an hour to do your huge brain dump, your weekly brain dump. But at the beginning of every day now, you're going to take a look at that list that you made previously. And you're going to pull those 3 things off of there. And you know, kind of plan out your week around those. So you're going to choose 3 tasks that you can do today. And you're also anything that kind of came up in the morning, because, you know, we all get to work, we sit down at our desks, and then stuff floats in. So again, if it takes less than 5 minutes, do it now. And okay, not here. I'm just going to refresh this just in case it's not picking up the new members. So, okay. Pardon my distraction. Very difficult for me to kind of go and to do 2 things at once. This is why this system works really great for me, because it really keeps me focused and it really keeps me on task, getting things done that you need to. So at the beginning and end of every day, you are going to review these. I was saying, you know, when we sit down at our desks, and things start flying at us, we're going to get overwhelmed, and that to-do list is going to go, oh, crap, out the window. When things start coming to you, you're going to add them to that morning brain dump list and say, okay, I need to get this done today. I need to get that done today. This needs to, you know, in addition to the 3 things that you've already chosen to be your top priorities for getting done that day. Like I said, we all have things fly at us every day. New things pop up and we need to address them. The point is to not let them carry over and take over other tasks that you've already had planned out for the day. So when you come in the morning, you kind of do your morning refresh brain dump. You pick your 3 things that you're going to get accomplished for the day. Now, I'm a creative, so for me, the morning routine works very well, because if I schedule myself to purposely do things each day, it doesn't work for me. I resist it. It's just my personality. It's the way, you know, I'm wired. You have to find what works best for you, and that may not be the same system as, you know, I have. Part of my services is actually working with you and understanding how you function best, and coming up with systems and plans and things that work best for you. I don't expect that everybody's going to be like me in the fact that, you know, they're creative and they start to resist things when they're forced to do them, which I am. So if I put things on my to-do list for the whole week, I tend not to get or tend to get very few of them done. If I look at it on a daily basis and say, okay, I can work on the website today, I can do this. Things for me that take top priority, obviously, I have to get them accomplished, but this is why I do this every week, because this has made it more comfortable for me to get through that. If you are a highly scheduled and highly routine kind of person, plotting out the whole week on Sunday may be something that works out great for you. Again, you have to kind of find the system that works for yourself and not necessarily the system that, you know, I'm describing here. So the beginning and the end of every day, you're going to do that review. You're going to set out your tasks. Number 6 on our list is the way to plot out your day. I want you to start with a small task, a big task, and then a small task again. Now, what that does is that's kind of the arc of your day. So when you come in and say, okay, let me get my 5-minute things done. Like say one of your things to do is, I'm trying to think of a small task here that you can do. You know, something that takes maybe less than an hour to complete. Say you just need to tweak the copy on, I'm going to go back to my website example. Let's just say you need to tweak the copy on one of your websites and website pages. And that'll take you less than an hour to do because you already know what you want to get done and you already know what you want to achieve in that. And that's only going to take you about an hour. So you're going to go in and say, you know, let me go tweak that copy. That's a small task. Anything less than like an hour is going to be your small task. Then you're going to take a very large task that you have, something that's going to take you more than an hour to complete, something that needs your absolute unfettered attention. And you're going to go in and you're going to put the do not disturb sign on your door, and you're going to put your phone into airplane mode, and you're going to turn off all the notifications that are popping up all over the place on your computer. One of the tips that I have coming out on the Instagram series is using blocker software so that anything that kind of chimes and dings in the background on your computer, you can actually turn off. You can block yourself from using specific websites during specific times. So like you're only allowed to go on Facebook between, 1:30 and 2 p.m. every day. That helps immensely with losing a lot of time during the day, because social media is one of those things. You can jump onto YouTube to watch one thing that you wanted to watch and wind up watching, an hour and a half worth of video and going, oh crap, I didn't get all the rest of the stuff on my day done. So blockers are a great thing, and that is one of the tips that's coming out on the Instagram series. 31 days of productivity during March. We just started it today. I believe the first one goes out around 5:30 today. It is scheduled for 5:30. So, and there's another productivity tip right there. Schedule as much as you possibly can when it comes to social media. I do realize it's social media. We need to be in there. We need to make conversation. We need to make connection. We need to talk to people. But getting sucked into social media can be such a drain on your day, and leave you feeling absolutely unproductive at the end of the day. When you have long to-do lists, this is the best way for you to break those down, and stay off social media and get through them so that there is a light at the end of the tunnel for you. To-do lists are something that are never going to go away. I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there that say don't use a to-do list. Just choose your 3 highest priorities for the day. But again, for me, the brain dump and, what I know about psychology and the wiring of the brain, you cannot overload it with stuff. You just can't. You need to get it out of your head and onto paper. That's going right back to that, number one thing that I said in the brain dump. So, schedule your tasks for the day into that kind of arc, if you will, of small, big, small. So at the beginning of the day, you can accomplish something right away, feel a win right away, as soon as possible. Then you can focus on that larger thing, get that done by say 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then finish your last little task so that you have multiple wins during the day. Celebrating your wins, no matter how small they are. Yay, I got the copy done. Yay, I made the link work. Anything, you know, to those types of things. Yay, I posted the blog. Yay, I scheduled my social media. All of those things need to have, I'm not saying go out and have a glass of wine for every single one of them, but you do need to congratulate yourself, celebrate yourself, and remind yourself that you are getting things done. That way, when you are at night trying to decompress and detach from your business and go back to your life, you're not thinking about all those things that you're done. You've celebrated your wins. You've turned them off for the day. You know what you have to do tomorrow. You can turn off your brain for the night and enjoy the time with your family, or enjoy the time with your loved ones, or enjoy whatever activity that it is that you're doing. I used to, this system works for me so well because I used to beat the shit out of myself all of the time. Literally, like, I shouldn't be here. Anytime I went and did something fun, I went out, you know, with my friends. I spent time at dinner with my family, and it ran a little long, and it was, you know, there was a conversation going on, and it went longer than, you know, I had planned for. I used to beat the crap out of myself. I need to be working on my business. I could be doing 200 other things more important than this, blah, 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 blah. You know, it got to the point that was really self-depreciating, honestly, where you were, you know, talking and beating yourself up for not getting done what it is that you need to get done. Now I go and I spend time with my niece, and I spend time with my, you know, friends, and I spend time, you know, out enjoying the things that I like to enjoy, because I know I have all that shit written down somewhere and I'm going to get it done. And I've congratulated myself because I've gotten through shit that needed to be done. So make sure that you celebrate yourself, celebrate your wins, know that you can turn your brain off at night and not be upset about it. And this is the easiest way to do it, is get it out of your head. The reason you're harping on it at night is because you're not getting it out of your head. If you know what it is that you need to do during the day, you're not going to think about it at night. You'll be able to shut your brain off, from your business brain off, and go focus on, you know, the important things in life, like your family. Because you know, our businesses, I get it. Our businesses are like our babies, and, you know, they're very important to us. And sometimes you just can't deal with that, you know, letting it go part of it, but you have to. It's like seeing your kids off on their first day of school, I guess. It was kind of the same thing the first time I took my dog. I don't have kids, but I did have a dog. First time I took him to puppy play care, I was like, now I know what parents go through in dropping their kids off to school, because, like, I'm gonna miss him during the day. He used to go to work with me all the time. So, and then I got a job where I couldn't take him, so he had to go to puppy play care. He loved it. Me, I was like, anyhow, I digress. So we have big, small, or small, big, small, not big, small, 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 big, small, to kind of get through that arc of your day, shutting off your brain at night and being able to know that you're going to come back to it, and then it's going to be there the next day, without having to think about it. For those of you that are really having a problem with that kind of shutting your brain off at night, the brain dump. Try the brain dump. If you keep thinking about things when you are on your off time, keep a notebook. I have, this is probably like my 10th one of these. I write in this thing like mad. Anything that comes in my head, I am like scribble, 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 because I can always go back to it the next day, look at it, and figure out if I was an insane person or if there's actually some merit to it. So keep a journal just for scribbling. I have journals for lots of different things. I have journals for my journaling. I have journals for my business. I have journals for my personal meditations, and I have a journal for that I use with my coach. So I have different journals for different things. So keep a journal. I have literally 4 journals. It's kind of scary. Keep a journal where you can just take your notes out for the day. Things that come to you during the day, jot them in that journal so that you can go back to them and you're not forgetting them. That was a huge problem for me, is that somebody would come in and be like, I need this from you, or I need that from you. And I said, okay, I'll get to it. And let me finish this task. And they would come back an hour later and say, did you do that yet? Oh shit, I forgot. So this is, if you have the, oh shit, I forgot. If you suffer from CRS as well, like I do, that's having the journal right next to you at all times. And I don't go anywhere without this thing. I, come in. Oh, we have somebody that wants to join. So I literally go through and, let me go back to there. Sorry, again, as I was saying, if you suffer from that CRS type of thing, you need to go in and say, keep this thing going, keep this journal going, because that is your lifeline to being able to remember things, being able to put them on your to-do list, being able to actually keep up with things that you are doing. I am kind of running out of things to say now. I think I've been through most of it. I was planning on this being an hour, but I got through it in about 35 minutes. We only have 2 viewers right now, and I'm not sure if they're back in the program or not, because we did start. So I'm just going to kind of go through this again so that they can catch up to where we are. Do we have a question? No, not yet. Okay, so back to go through the whole list again. You have your brain dump that you do once a week. You have your do, delegate, dismiss list, and then you're prioritizing that. You have your breaking your large projects into smaller tasks that can seem accomplishable. Again, it's that keep it simple thing. I got all tied up in a task. We always do, Emily. We always do. So break those larger projects down into smaller manageable tasks. If it can be done in less than 5 minutes, do it now and get rid of it. Don't let it fester. Begin and end your day. Oh, I never did go through the end of the day. So the end of the day, that's kind of where I was headed with the journal thing. Now you have this kind of list that you can look through at the end of the day and see, where you are, how much you've accomplished. Go back and celebrate those wins of the things that you did. And then at the end of the day, kind of review, not just your wins, but review anything that you might need to put on your to-do list for the next day. I never put more than 3 things on my to-do list. If I put more than 3 things on my to-do list, for me, that seems overwhelming, especially because my large task is usually pretty large. This sounds like the GTD process. I like it. A lot of what I do is based on the GTD process, Emily. So yes, a lot of this is, but there's things that I've picked up from other sources that I've kind of combined into my own. I happen to, that was what got me started, was the GTD process. So the brain dump and the organizing and the do and the dismiss and the 5-minute thing all came from David Allen. The prioritizing I don't think that came from him. I think that came from somewhere else, and I can't really remember where. And then the big, small, big thing I actually just picked up in the last few weeks that I started implementing that, and that was fantastic for me because it really helped me get through my day and get through those things. So yes, a lot of this is based on the GTD process, and a lot of what I do is based on the GTD process. So other things with being able to shut yourself off during the day is to keep your area clear. Everybody, every organizer, everybody who's got anything to do with productivity is always going to tell you, keep your area clear, keep it neat, keep it clean, file your paperwork, do those kind of things. You got to find the right setup tools. There are many different tools that work. I like the pen and paper for me, and there's something very cathartic about the pen and paper, Emily. I actually do have Action Complete, which is the GTD process for the computer that also forwards it to your smartphone. I don't know if you've heard about that, but that is oh, that's how I read it anyhow. Set of tools. But I do use the Action Complete on Sundays, and it helps me break down those larger tasks. So yes, the right tools are definitely definitely a time saver and a help. So I think that's really it. I didn't quite go as long as I wanted to. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and I will certainly do more topics covering this. Like I said, I am doing the 31 days of productivity tips on Instagram. You can follow me there at BuzzworthyFL, Instagram.com/BuzzworthyFL. Of course, they will repost to all of my Instagram does get reposted to my business page, so you can check them out there. Buzzworthy Media on Facebook, and I am putting together that 4-video series. God, I'm overloading you guys with stuff. I'm sorry. I am putting together that 4-video series and the complimentary, or yeah, well, it is complimentary, but PDF journal that will kind of help you go through this on a day-by-day basis and really kind of visualize what it is that I'm talking about here. So the 4-video series will be up by this Friday. I should have it done, and the PDF as well. You can always email me and ask me any questions. I do love answering questions, love getting in conversations with people. So if overwhelm is something that you are battling with, setting up your systems and setting up things that go along with that is part of the first part of my process when I work with clients, because that's one of the things that they're coming to me because of. They're overwhelmed. They can't get everything done. They don't know how they're going to create more time in their day to be able to build their business to make more money. So we generally, the first thing we talk about for the first couple of sessions is how are you spending your time and how are you accomplishing your tasks? Because finding a system that works for you is super important. And you can always schedule a breakthrough session. Those are free, and they're 30 minutes, and they are on my website. You are buzzworthy.com/schedule. It is called the breakthrough session. You can schedule one of those with me at any time. And I'm always happy to talk to you about that. And I'm in Facebook groups all the time. So there's plenty of ways to get a hold of me. Thank you guys so much for watching. We just got another viewer. I don't know if she had any questions. I can't really see who the viewers are. It doesn't tell me that. It just tells me how many people are watching. And it doesn't tell me where they're watching at. They could be at the beginning. This is the thing about Hangouts on Air is they're live, but they also play back. So it's like a weird DVR. But I will be doing these live Q&A sessions every week. I think Tuesday at 4 p.m. is probably going to be my time, unless I might play around with some other times while I'm kind of figuring this whole thing out. with getting in here. I might try Thursday at 4 p.m. next week. So it might be a week and a half before the next one, or maybe I'll do another one. Maybe I'll do another one like this on this Thursday. See if we can't get some more people in here. But these are going to become a regular thing for me. So make sure that you follow me, because I do post it all over the freaking place when I do them. And yeah, you can always chat me up. I think I just gave you guys about 15 ways to get in contact with me, which is a big overwhelm. So the one thing I do want you to take away from this is go follow the Instagram, because you are getting 31 days of productivity tips on Instagram, and that is at BuzzworthyFL. So they are, the first one, like I said, goes out today. So, and will be for the whole week of March. If you guys don't have any other questions, thank you so much for watching. You can always, don't subscribe to this channel, because for whatever reason, I cannot get these live Q&As to post to my business channel. They're only posting to my personal channel. So I have to actually download them and then re-upload them to my business channel. Go figure, the YouTube expert can't figure that out. But yeah, I haven't figured out an answer for that one yet. I'm not really sure why they're not posting to my business page, but I will eventually get an answer to that. It is on my to-do list. It's just not high priority right now. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the Buzzworthy Media channel on YouTube. You can find it through the Daily Z posts that we do every day. They are posting to my regular business channel. So thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a great day.